Hello everyone, welcome to Literature Insights. I am back with another chronology quote to help you remember the renowned cultural theorist Raymond Williams. Raymond Williams was born in 1921. Raymond Williams was born in 1921 and he died in the year 1988. He was a Welsh writer. See, you need to know the origin of the writer because in exam, the UGC-NET exam statement type questions come where you are asked also about the origin. For example, we can take the example of Stuart Hall. He was a Jamaican born writer, right? So we can be asked from the statements like he was a Welsh critic, he was a Jamaican born critic, right? So we need to know about the origin also, which is very important. So here Raymond Williams was a Welsh writer, right? And he attended the Trinity College, Cambridge, and he gave a very famous definition of culture, which I'm sure you must be knowing already. He defined culture as a whole way of life. There are many terms also which are associated with him. I'm listing the terms out to you. The first one is structure of feeling. The next is cultural materialism, dominant, residual and emergent cultures, and mobile privatization. Now that we have known Williams, let's move towards his works. Here in my PPT, I have since he's written a lot of works, so what I have done is I have divided his works into like the years, like 1950s, 1960s, 70s, like this way, and I'll be giving you the code for every slide, which will help you remember whole chronology of Raymond Williams very easily, right? So let's start with the first slide, right? His works 1950s. So the first work that is written is Reading and Criticism, which is coming in the year 1950. Then he has written the drama from Ibsen to Eliot, which is coming in the year 1952. Then he has written Drama in Performance, which is coming in the year 1954. And then his very famous work, which is Culture and Society, 1780 to 1950, which is coming in the year 1958. Now these are the works that I have listed out to you, but now I will give you a code which will help you remember all this. So the code is Raymond Williams was reading and criticizing the drama from Ibsen to Eliot. Raymond Williams was reading and criticizing the drama from Ibsen to Eliot as he liked their performance. Later he thought of the impact it made on culture and society. I am repeating the code once again. Raymond Williams was reading and criticizing the drama from Ibsen to Eliot as he liked their performance. Later, he thought of the impact it made on culture and society. Moving on to the next decade of his works, the 1960s. So the first work which is coming herein is The Long Revolution. You should know this work, this is very important. The Long Revolution, 1961. Then Communications, 1962. Then Modern Tragedy, 1966. Then May Day Manifesto, which is coming in the year 1968. And then Drama from Ibsen to Brecht, 1968. Now I'll share the code again of the 1960s. Listen to it very carefully. A revolution is happening in which people are trying to communicate their ideas, but it took a tragic turn and thus resulted in a modern tragedy of 1966. People were holding manifestos in their hands and two people named Ibsen and Brecht were creating drama. I am repeating the code once again. A revolution is happening in which people are trying to communicate their ideas, but it took a tragic turn and thus resulted in a modern tragedy of 1966. People were holding manifestos in their hands, and two people named Ibsen and Brecht were creating drama. Moving on to the year 1970s. The first work is the English novel From Dickens to Lawrence, coming in the year 1970. Orwell, coming in the year 1971. The Country and the City, coming in the year 1973. Television, Technology and Cultural Form, coming in the year 1974. Keywords, A Vocabulary of Culture and Society, 1976. Marxism and Literature, 1977. Politics and Letters, Interview with New Left Review, 1979. So now let's learn the quote for this too. In 1970, Williams read the English novels from Dickens and Lawrence. So how could he forget about reading Orwell? So he read his works too. Then he went to a country and visited a city over there where people loved watching television, right? And for the next work, which is keywords, I could not come up with a code. So memorize it just the way it is. Keywords, A Vocabulary of Culture and Society, 1976. Then his very important work, Marxism and Literature, 1977. And from this work, the three types of culture, the cultures are taken: the dominant, the residual, and the emergent, from Marxism and Literature, 1977. Then when we are talking about Marxism, you can learn it this way. Then when we are talking about Marxism, we talk about the new left and politics. So the next work is based on that. After Marxism comes Politics and Letters, Interview with New Left Review, coming in the year 1979. Moving on to the 1980s, the first work is Problems in Materialism and Culture, Selected Essays, 1980, Culture, 1981, Towards 2000, 1983, Politics of Modernism Against the New Conformists, 1989, Resources of Hope, Culture, Democracy and Socialism, 1989. I also, couldn't come up with a quote for this, but I can give you a tip. You can learn the first title of this slide, and for every slide, like I have given you the quotes, but you need to remember all the first titles. And in this slide specifically, just remember the first title. Then we have the title Culture. Take its last word, culture. Then Towards 2000, 1983, it is also a very important work, right? Famously talked about. And then we have, if we are reaching towards 2000, we are reaching towards the era of modernism, right? And with modernism, we are hoping that we will have some development. So hope, from modernism, then Resources of Hope. And then the last work of the 2000s, Who Speaks for Wales, 2003. Who Speaks for Wales? It is, Raymond Williams writing on Welsh culture. So we are done with the chronology of his works, his literary works I should say, because he has written a lot of novels, short stories and dramas too. And I'll be coming up with another video for that very soon. So stay tuned, and I hope you'll be able to, memorize Raymond Williams now. And I really hope that this video will help you. So stay tuned for the next video, and thank you very much.